Welcome to my chapter number 4, which is third in the series of looking at what theory chapters for 249 Entrepreneurship NIS Grade 10. And today is one of the most beautiful chapters. I always say that for every chapter you might complain, but this truly is beautiful. This chapter is called Creativity and Innovation. So we're already in module 2, and it's supposed to be 12-hour chapter, 30 hours of study. And we are going to do chapter number 4, that is creativity. How can you be creative? Trust me, creativity is looking around. I look at the nature. We look at the dragonflies and we made the helicopters, right? That is what creativity is. Somebody looks at a problem and an entrepreneur finds the solution. Remember, the definition of an entrepreneur is someone who looks at a problem and tries to solve it. Zomato saw a problem that food was not delivered on time. They created an app. Ola, Uber, all of it. Oyo rooms. This boy is a dropout from a Delhi college, Ritesh Agarwal, and you should know some of the names that I'm talking about. Ritesh Agarwal realized that people cannot book cheap hotels, and that is what Oyo, O on your own. That's what Oyo stands for. On your own came across. So you have to develop creativity even in answering a question. So this is chapter number 4, creativity. Necessity, it's a tool. Necessity is the mother of invention. Creativity is the mother of entrepreneurs, right? So check with your mom, right? So creativity is the mother of every entrepreneur. It's a creative concept. Suddenly new comes in, a campaign, a call to action, communication, and people are all crazy about it. An example of creativity is this leher, Lahori Zira. Lahori Zira came up with some nice, spicy, tangy juices. Already Pepsi and Coke was dominating the market. Thumbs up is the Indian flavor. And here is Lahori Jeera. Suddenly everybody wants to love it. Why? Because number one, it's packed at 10 rupees. It's easy in family gatherings. It's easy in weddings. And that is what an entrepreneur is. There are two brothers who started Lahori Jeera. And this is what an entrepreneur's journey is. This is creativity. So the creativity part is when a entrepreneur finds solution with something that is novel. Novel is unique, new, and appropriate ideas for solving a problem. Write in your own words, write with confidence, and trust me, you will do well. So there's a lot of definitions of creativity that we're talking about. You don't have to memorize, but I'll give you one which is easy, right? Creativity is the capacity of a person to produce composition, product, or ideas, essentially that are new and previously unknown. Tough word. Creativity is your capacity of an entrepreneur to create ideas, product, services that are unknown. It is not completely, it's like a discovery. You didn't invent anything, but you discovered there is a problem, there is a gap. So I love the chapter because it's so easy. What are the characteristics of creativity? Let's say you think you are creative. What should you do? First, imagination. I have this wonderful student, Muhammad, in my Golden Sparrow, who doodle in his class. And I told his mother that Muhammad is a creative student. Do not box him in an engineering seat. That's imagination, right? You find people just purposeful. You should also be a clear purpose. You should be original. Yes, I don't like plagiarized content. I don't like copied content. That's what creativity is. It should be valuable. There should be an ability in a person. Also, what are the ingredients? So remember, you don't have to memorize it. What are the characteristics? Okay, think of Muhammad now. Okay, Muhammad is purposeful. He has his original ideas. He's imaginative. He is valuable to me. He has good ability. Also, it's mix and match. 4 ingredients of creativity. Number one, let's say I want this boy, so the case study is this Muhammad. I want Muhammad to create a Google Doodle. So number one, he needs to have the knowledge of what a Google Doodle is. So it starts with G. Imagine somebody who doesn't even know spelling, who can't spell Google, will not have. So you should have knowledge. And knowledge of all of these ideas, it could be intuitive, suddenly comes up. It could be innovative. He sees an idea and it comes imaginative or inspirational. He saw something else and he saw, okay, wow, today is World Cheetah Day. Can I make a Google Doodle with a lot of spots into it? Knowledge. But there should be also motivation. Intrinsic from inside, extrinsic, maybe money, maybe recognition, maybe an award. He should be passionate about doodling and coloring itself, and self-discipline. One of the biggest failures of entrepreneur is you do something for 2 days, you start reading a book, and after 5 days, you stop reading. You listen to my workshops and lectures, and then you drop it after 2, 3 sessions. No, not possible. So 4 ingredients. You should have knowledge. Knowledge could be an inspiration, an intuition, imagination, and inspiration, right? I'll just annotate for you so you know. This is ideas. You should also have a great passion and motivation, but also self-discipline. There should be time where you start doodling. It might look easy for people, but every day you have to start doing doodles. There are people paid by Google to doodle. And remember, these are examples we're giving so that you know one way or the other you will work on it. Okay, now, necessity of creativity in entrepreneurship. Remember, all of these that I say are very generic answers. Why should an entrepreneur be? What is the necessity of it? You have to look at the answers here. There are 7 or 8 answers, but then you also can write anything that I told you before. An entrepreneur needs to be necessary because he needs to find inspiration, motivation, passion, right? But also some other pointers which are very generic points. It makes people think. You transgress or transcend boundaries and productivity increases, right? So an entrepreneur, Google example, is not limited to India or China or United States. It's across the world. Lot of success, lot of recognition comes your way, right? It helps you earn better, achieve better. Creativity itself is a process that you learn. Self-discipline comes in. Remember the 4 I told you: inspiration, right? Innovation. What are the other 4? I'm sorry, we have to go back to our 4 Is. Yeah, imagination, intuitiveness, and inspiration. So all of these comes into what we are trying to do with regards to our, like, quickly, let's look at it. Creativity is the heart of entrepreneurship. Yes. Extrinsic motivation is tangible. Yeah. Extrinsic is when I get salary. Yes. Economic theory of creative destruction of proposal, Joseph Scamper. We have no idea. Scamper will come later. So probably I'll leave it as a question mark. We have not discussed Scamper yet. An entrepreneur must be dash about his ideas and willing to, must be creative about his ideas. Creativity, they all answers at the back of it. So, you don't have to worry about it. Creativity gives competitive edge to business owners, turnover as a result of consumers, expectation maybe. Creative imagination must have a goal, an objective to serve. And you can see these are very generic ones, but please look at the answers behind. I'm reading it out of memory. All right. Which is not a feature of creativity. Original ideas, yes. Knowledge, yes. Ability, yes. Imagination, yes. Why? Which one? But because we said, we need your original ideas. We need to have, which is not a feature. So probably right now I will look at all of it as yes, and probably I'll go down immediately and say which one is it that we are not looking at as answer. And I'm looking. So sometimes, okay, so it says 2, which is knowledge. So we accept this as a knowledge part of it. It's okay. But knowledge is required, although we are not going to the right knowledge of it, and you're doing good work. Okay. So there we are, knowledge. When the share of enterprise sale is more in total market sale, it is said to increase revenue. Yes, it will increase. Increase profit, yes. Market share is not related to this. This was an answer I just saw. So about it. Let me go to my favorite part. We're almost done 10 minutes. So I'll do 5 minutes and then I'll quickly close. How can I increase creativity? There are many ways. So one of the ways, which was, given almost 70 years back, 1950s, and 10 years after our independence, remember, by Alex Osborne, was called brainstorming. What is brainstorming? Brainstorming is when a large group of members come together on a specific problem without any criticism or judgment and evaluate an idea. That's called brainstorming. Okay, so brainstorming is basically you friends sit together and say, okay, let's go for a movie X. Do we go for Jurassic Park or do we go for Mission Impossible? Or do we go for a Hindi movie, Houseful 5? Please don't go. You'll have sin. But now you're brainstorming. Oh, forget that movie. That's crap movie. I don't want to put 3 hours of crap in my. So you move it. Somebody says, no, it's fun. We'll laugh around it. But somebody says, Jurassic Park. Oh, we've seen so many of it. That is, Jennifer Anderson there. Okay, now I must go there. Guys, think of it. That's what brainstorming. Brainstorming, it's not written here, but I'll give you an idea, has 4 levels, right? So brainstorming comes in. So first is norming, then forming, then brainstorming, then performing. I'll repeat what I said. Norming, you norm. Okay, you are the leader. You can make a call. Okay, we'll listen to what she says. Norm. You're norming people. Captain, vice captain. Then forming. You're forming ideas. You're forming teams. You're forming perspectives, results. Then brainstorming. You're actually sitting on it. And performing is you're actually taking an action. So norming, forming, brainstorming, and performing. When you get a question like that, you reply to it. So brainstorming has many perspectives. Remember we said about this person, this is Michael Michalko. Think of chalk. Michael Michalko said Scamper. Scamper is an acronym. What's an acronym? Like the colors of the rainbow is acronym. VIBGYOR. Scamper is an acronym, very common, used in MBA, and that's why I love this chapter. What is Scamper? So the acronym is for a checklist to come with an idea. So S stands for substitute. So what are we doing? Can we substitute something? People, let's say a football team, and your football team, the best player is not performing. Can I substitute the best player? So S for substitute. C for combine. Can we combine ideas? So I'm still going back to an idea of, let's say, selling clothes. So can I substitute, say, a crop top which is not very popular with a very beautiful faded jeans? Combine. Can I combine few things? Can I combine Indian ethnic and a Western in my stand? Zudio has done it. So use example of Zudio by Tata. Nobody knows Tata. Tata is supposed to be old. Tata is always good about, Tata Trust, Tata Hospital. Tata comes with a brilliant campaign with Zudio, and everybody loves Zudio. It's upbeat. Adopt. They adopted to the modern age people. Look at Zudio. It's bright. There are a lot of, there are perfumes there. There are small, cheap items because people love to do it. Zudio is a copy of Zara, but it's not Zara, right? That's the whole idea that we're looking into. Okay, so we go a little down, and let me check if I can. Then we go a little up. Scamper. So two M's are coming. What is 2M? One is, let me quickly go here. M for magnify. Can I make it large? M for modify. You have to remember these acronyms. There's no other. So S substitute, C combine. Use Zara as an example, right? So we're looking at M for magnify, M for modify. P for put to use. It's just a word. Put to use. Can I put to better use? Can I replace my racks all the time? Zudio has limited edition, 20 shirts. Everybody in the lift was wearing the same Zudio shirt because it was on $4.99, a sale. E for eliminate. Can I eliminate things that I don't need? For example, the autofocus on cameras. They said people don't use it. Today we've got 5 cameras. Sometimes it will be time when we will only use 1 camera. Remember the zero phone or the no phone, which is completely bare? Possible. R and R, rearrange and reverse. Well, reverse the order. It is all about telling your mind that a lot of things can come in which is different. So remember Scamper, and it's a great thing. Another great way of doing brainstorming is called road bridge. Okay, which is interesting. Think of a congested road bridge, right? So now there's a traffic flow. What do I do? Imagine you're stuck at the Vashi road bridge. What do? Number one, you can speed up the flow, right? Maybe they created a parallel road. You can reduce the flow. You can say, no, go to the Gorbandar road, come from the other side. That is divert the flow. You can reduce the flow, say, no, odd and even, like Delhi is doing, only odd cars on one day, even cars on one day. This is an example of a road bridge. If you ever get a question, make a road bridge, quickly put Vashi. Do not be afraid to give real examples. It may look very stupid right now as I'm talking, but this is how it works. All right, so first time I'm taking it a little longer. The last thing and my favorite part of it is 6 thinking. I was waiting for 6 thinking hats. 6 thinking hats was given by Edward de Bono. And instead of showing you on this chart, which I promise you'll memorize, I'm going to do a different thing on 6. I'll do a different take. I'm going to show you on a workshop I've done on 6 thinking hats. Think of it as a small gift, and I'll revise it when I come back in my part 2. So the author of the 6 thinking person is called Edward de Bono. Look at the way he's written Edward also. This is a creative man. He's given some most creative ideas called parallel thinking, lateral thinking, where you have to go this way. Lateral thinking is just go from one A to B outside. Edward de Bono is the master of mind mapping also. He said, we look at 6 thinking hats. What are the 6 thinking hats? What he says? There are 6 hats. When you think of an idea of brainstorming, don't think of it one way. Put these hats and you will realize there are many, many ways to think of it. We always start with a hat called the blue hat. It's an open hat. It's called the sky hat. Blue, think of sky. And then each hat I've given you into pairs. So blue and red, black and white, green and yellow. Let's look at each hat now. What do you think a red hat could look like? A red hat is basically warning hat, right? So the red hat says gut feeling. What do I write the exams today or not? Don't. That's not a gut feeling, but let's say I'm taking a travel. So let's make an example. As an entrepreneur, I want to start a food truck business. What's my gut feeling says? Yes, should I do it? And trust me, you have a gut feeling, and right this way. Red hat tells you your suggestions. So when you have a group, you say, everybody wear a red hat and tell me what do you think about food business? People say, yes, great. What food business? Frozen food business. Gut feeling, accepted. Then you go. Red hat is all about emotions. It could be anger, hope, positivity, a lot of expectation. Every entrepreneur starts with great hope. I'll become a millionaire one day. So think of red hat like a firefighter hat. Then we got a yellow hat. So red and yellow is my combination. What do you think yellow should stand for? Yellow is bright, sunshine, right? It's a positivity hat. So you tell people, okay, think of food business, but think of all the positive thing. Oh, people love to eat food. Cow gullies are very popular. Food is the only religion India knows. And then you say it's called the sunshine hat. And think of yellow hat as the benefit hat, the constructor's hat. You're constructing ideas, you're making ideas. You'll never forget the six thinking hats. Then I said the blue hat. You start with the blue hat. What's a blue hat? The sky hat. The blue hat is for planning. Sky is for planning. Focus. What is the objective of this meeting? Blue hat says all these always start with the blue hat. All the other hats are called. Think of blue hat as the captain's hat. Rohit Sharma, planning hat. So you wear a blue hat and you start planning. Then it's the green hat, blue and green. What's green for? Green is for growth, movement. Think of creative ways. How can I grow my frozen food business? Oh, I can do delivery. Frozen food is great during festivals. Let's say in Ramadan, during the Christmas break. And then green hat is like think of a scouts and badge hat. Okay, so creativity, positivity. And then you're also looking at growth hat. But then there is a white hat. What is the white hat? You can decide. It could be chef hat or a politician's hat. But white hat is only about, let's say, chef hat. Chef hat says it is data. Imagine I have to make food. The ingredients cannot be very creative. If I have to make a basic ingredients, I have to put flour, I have to put sugar, I have to put some ingredients. So it is a neutral hat. You don't think right or wrong. You only think of information. How many frozen food do we have? Oh, Al Kabir is a big business. What do I do to disrupt their business? So this is a white hat. It's a data hat. It's all about data and facts. And finally, we've got the black hat. There's always somebody who criticizes the idea. Always somebody who says, okay, what about their points? What about if business doesn't grow? Oh, the expenses, the investment is too much. So it's all about the caution hat. The errors, the pitfalls, the risks, the danger. And think of it like the magician's hat. The risk, I want to pull out a rabbit and suddenly a squirrel comes out. It's still fine as long as it's not a cloth coming out. These are the six thinking hats, my friends. Think of them. If you ever get a question, thank me and you write your six thinking hat. This is a long session I did. It's part 1 of chapter number 4 on creativity. And I hope you enjoy this. So much I want to teach you. There's so many case studies I have got. I've got a case study on NASA and NOAA. NOAA is basically a real organization where like the Noah's Ark, but it is National Ocean Exploration. So it's wonderful. Use your six thinking hats and find out which is better organization. Where should you fund? A lot of examples can come in. All the best. Use creativity. Remember brainstorming, right? Norming, forming, brainstorming, and performing. So many things we can do. All the best.